G'day, Aussie Ben. Now, in this video, we're going to have a look at how to get our character, being our purple sludge here, slime, how to get that character moving backwards and forwards, patrolling this area, and also how to get our main hero character here to stomp on that character. There are some tricky concepts involved in this. So, first of all, when we do apply some force to this character to make it move backwards and forwards, it has no real concept of where to stop. So what we're going to do is actually put some barriers up here and here to say once you hit this barrier, change direction and go back on that direction, and so on and so on. So we'll just go ahead and do that. So I'm just looking for some objects here that I can use, and I'm going to use my lasers, not as lasers but just as markers. So I'm going to add that one, and I'm going to add that one, and I'm going to go in and change the names of these to go left, and I'll change this one to go right. Whoops. This is one of these areas, it's a multi-step process that we're going through, and it's not until you reach the end of the steps that you can sort of analyze what's going on. So you just need to trust what's happening here. So I'm going to drag this one out over to the right hand side. Now it's called go left, so basically it's saying when I hit go left, so he's moving to the right. When I hit go left, go left. Go right, whoops. Now I could call them any name I want. It's not important. I could call them purple clouds. It wouldn't matter, but you try and give your objects logical names so you can identify them. So basically, if I hit this guy here, which is called go right, I want the character to go right. So that's the start of it. Now what I'm going to do is actually now create an event that will sort of work with this. So we're going to add a new event, and we're looking for a collision. So if the slime is colliding with go left, so slime is in collision with go left. Now here comes a really tricky bit, and we'll explain this in more detail in a few moments. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a thing called a variable. Okay, so variables modify a variable of an object. Now, first of all, the object that I'm thinking about is slime, and I'm going to create a variable for the slime called go left. And I'm going to assign it a value of 0. So again, this is something where you just have to see it in place, and then we can go back and analyze it. So just go ahead and do that. So if the slime does collide with go left, there's a variable called go left that belongs to slime, and I'm going to give it a value of 0. By itself that means nothing. It'll mean something in a moment. So now I'm going to set a condition if the slime is collision with go right. So collision of slime to go right, and I'm going to do something very similar here to what I've done up here. So we're going to modify a variable of an object. So the variable belongs to the slime. Now this will seem confusing, but the variable that I'm going to modify, a lot of people will jump in and say, oh, I'm going to modify the variable called go right. Well, I'm not going to. I'm going to modify that same variable that I created before called go left. but I'm actually going to change its value to 1. So go left, which is a variable that belongs to slime, can have a value of 0 or 1. Now, once again, in isolation, that will mean not much to anyone who's not a programmer. It'll hopefully mean something to everyone soon enough. So just trust me and go ahead and make those two changes there. Now, important to note that absolutely nothing will have changed here. There's no miracle movements or anything happening. And as a matter of fact, there's actually one thing I need you to do. I need you to make sure that your slime is currently in a collision with either left or right. I don't really care. But just move it so it's in a collision state there. Now, just to prove that's doing nothing, I'll just go into preview. We've got a bit more work to do. Okay, so completely stationary, and we've got these obnoxious looking markers there, which we'll get rid of those in a moment. So we've still got a fair bit of work to do. What we're going to do now is we're going to create a couple of other events. And what these events will do is they'll have a look at this variable called go left, and they'll say, okay, if go left happens to be set to 0, make my guy move to the left, because I just collided with go left. If go left happens to equal 1, which means he would have collided with go right, so if go left happens to equal 1, make my guy go to the right. So let's have a look at what that would look like. So we're looking for something to do with variables. So we're looking for the value of an object's variable. So the object we're looking at is the slime. The variable that we were looking at is go left. Now here's an important point. Whatever I had typed it as, if I had used uppercase, lowercase, and so on, I need to type it perfectly. And I'm going to test if it equals 0. Add. Okay, so if it's equal to, if go left is equal to 0, do something. And before I actually add the actions, I'm actually going to add another condition here, another event. Okay, so this one will be if slime's variable, once again go left, is equal to 1, which was our other possible value, do something else. So there's my two conditions, and now I'll start to take care of the actions. This is quite tricky too. So add a new action, and we need to add force to an enemy, which is to say we're going to push it. So let's have a bit of a look down the list. It's here somewhere. Ah, there we go, right up the top. Add force to an object. So which object? The slime. Now, our X and Y coordinate system is X is left and right, Y is up and down. That's the simplest way I can put it. So what I'm going to do is add a force of 50 and to the left right, and a force of nothing to up and down. So that's going to move him 50, I think, pixels a second or something like that. And so X on 50 will move it to the right. Now, I'll just complete this, and I think I've got a little problem I've created for myself here. So let me think this through. If I've collided with go left, which will be the marker on the right hand side of the screen, make go left equals 0. If it's 0, what's going to happen there is it's going to force him to the right. I actually want to make him go left, so I need to change that to a -50. Easy done.